Hello, my name is James Hyde, and I'm the CEO of Venminder. I have the absolute privilege of being able to lead over 200 employees that are specifically focused on managing third-party risk. And I think I would tell you that kind of what sets us apart from the other players out there are many things, but I'll narrow it down to three primary things. First, when people come to us, they're generally trying to say, hey, I'm looking for an elegant platform that can take this entire menagerie of managing vendor risk management and bring it into a single platform and organize my program. Because today, in many cases, I'm running or the bank is running on opportunities to say, sending it out in email, in Excel, in an internal SharePoint, and it just doesn't scale. So they're looking for something that can bring that together to manage the entire life cycle in a single platform. But then two, I always say, what sets us apart is, what if I could tell you that you tell me a vendor and I can take all this rich risk intelligence data, feed that back together in the platform and give you a risk profile so that you, at a quick glance, can understand with all these great data sources what you're actually working with so you can make intelligent, inherent risk business decisions. And then three, quite frankly, there's just never enough talent at the bank to really manage the entire program. So a lot of times it's that human element, the ability to connect with real people that are helping you do assessments to work through that backlog of vendors. That is what we're doing, and that's what makes us really stand apart. So we already know that third-party risk management is a critical component for the financial institution. I mean, the reality is, to be competitive, you have to lean on great providers that are out there. And with that, you get to lean on some great successes of what they bring to the table. At the same time, there can be challenges. If they have any interruptions in service and they're a critical vendor that directly touches your customers, that could be a real big problem for you, especially from a protection of reputation standpoint. So we're here to really help improve the vendor relationships that you have, give insights, ensure, of course, that you're compliant with regulations to help you mitigate that risk and avoid data breaches. I mean, just today, there was a large financial institution that unfortunately had a breach, and it was one of those where millions of dollars, they have a settlement of lawsuit, but they're literally talking about, we need to spend time and focus more on third-party risk and the way that we manage these vendors, because the damage it can have beyond the financial impact is the customer impact with your clients. I think we've proven that we have a pretty good cadence here, because today we have over 1,000 customers, and of that, a majority are financial institutions. So we love our banks, great programs. We have several that are also part of ICBA. So it's just a testament to we understand how to take very mature programs and enhance them. And quite honestly, we work really quickly to say, how do we meet a bank with where their program is today and help them take them to where they want to go from a maturity standpoint? But if you think about it, Venminder can become that entire house for managing all of third-party risk. And it starts with a strong foundation around education. So we're always sending out webinars every single month that are CPE accredited. Every single Thursday, we have Third-Party Thursday, where we're sending out infographics, really just helping to define and best practices illuminate what you should be doing and access to our thought leaders. On top of that, we have this elegant software layer that essentially says, bring your entire program to life, manage it on a single pane of glass, and have the right kind of automation features to truly have the right insights to ensure you're complying with the regulation, but also giving the appropriate insights to manage those relationships even better. But it's not enough just to have that. Then we tie on the fact with these control assessments, real humans, real people helping you assess. So if you have a vendor that's going through major layoffs, you might want to order a financial health assessment. Just to understand, are they stable? And so collecting that evidence is important. Someone also has to be a credit risk analyst to review that. Well, we have over 25,000 control assessment deliverables baked inside of the platform that we're delivering. So if you're working with a vendor, you can search through the actual exchange and we can work with you to deliver. Here's the insights that are covered up by an expert. And then to top it all off with the roof, as if it were, the roof is managed services. So oftentimes you just need some extra help, someone that can go chase after those vendors to gather up the artifacts so that you can run them into your program. But we are truly the first end-to-end risk management platform. And what I mean by that is we have a dedicated workspace for how you onboard new vendor relationships. There are specific things you need to do. You're selecting multiple vendors and then ultimately choosing one. You have to send out questionnaires, get feedback internally to the bank, as well as feedback going on with the actual vendor to ensure you have everything buttoned up before you make the decision. Once you do, it moves you across to our ongoing management lifecycle. So this is a dedicated workspace. The vendor has been approved for the financial institution to use, and now you still have things that you need to know. You need to know SLA performance and track that. You need vendor spend. You need to have an ability to send out annual questionnaires to understand the different artifacts you want to refresh. Perhaps it's collecting a SOC for every single year to know that they're buttoned up. That's the ongoing management workspace. And then the reality is sometimes you have little vendors that can be little monsters that you have to walk down a path. And that is our vendor offboarding section. So that's really where you're trying to take a vendor relationship, say it's no longer approved for the bank and employees to use. So create a workspace dedicated to stepping them off in that program and actually ultimately getting to data destruction, cancellation of services, those components, but siloed into a dedicated workspace. That's the lifecycle management. We're the only ones to deliver that to the market. It allows you to easily manage all of the activities to ensure all stakeholders are involved and current both at the bank as well as at the vendors. It allows you to govern your program successfully, and we can scale with you. I mean, we're built to accommodate the growth. And in fact, we have some institutions that are managing less than 14 vendors and others that are doing 14,000 vendors. So we allow ourselves to scale with the success of your bank. And we're unlimited users, unlimited vendors, unlimited questionnaires. So we really can fit with your success. Now, I mentioned bringing in great, rich intelligence risk data. That's our new product offering that we launched, which is the Venmonitor. So it's baked inside of the platform, but think of it as if you could tell me any of those vendors' names, and I go out and say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and pull in KYV, know your vendor information. So I want to see if they're on the OFAC list. I want to see if they're on sanctions lists. I want to see what they score on ESG. I want to understand business health, the negative news, cyber, and all the different great cyber providers such as, BitSight, Black Kite, Risk Recon, Security Scorecard. I can gather all this together and give you a single view that says, here's what's going on. This is a risk profile powered by Venmonitor. And other people say, I really want to see that even more. I want to see it refreshed every single day. So we have a continuous monitoring aspect as well. So that is a new product that is released inside of the application that brings a lot of value and a lot of buzz. But it's not just that risk intelligence data, but it's also, once you have all this information, you're going to have some help in many cases. If you've gathered the financials, as I mentioned, you need a credit risk analyst or a CPA to actually review it and risk rate it. We can do that for you. We have certified experts that we keep on staff, full-time employees that do this kind of thing. If it's collecting a SOC report, as an example, we can have a team collect it from the vendor, and we can have an expert review the 153 pages, summarize it, rate risk it, deliver it back, so that you can work through that backlog. There's just a lot of stuff that you're dealing with every single day at the bank. This allows you to work through that, get the assessment, do the risk assessment, and move on so that we become those extra hands that essentially help you reduce that workload every single day. And I think we do a good job, but I would tell you that do the research there as well. I mean, we're a leader on G2 as of the spring session here for 2022. If you look at Gartner, we're literally the only provider that ranked top 3 in all of their use cases, all 3 use cases for the critical capabilities IT vendor risk management report last year. And with Gartner Peer Insights, you get to see anonymous feedback and information of customers saying, here's what we think. This is the white glove service and support. That is a crash course of all the different components of truly why Venminder remains in the #1 position for the most highly rated third-party risk management platform. Hopefully that gives you some insights. We would love to find ways to work with your financial institution and help mature and carry your program forward.